Hey everyone, this is Vesper. I thought I'd give an analysis video on the Grand Finals for Evolution 2014 for Ultra Street Fighter 4. The Grand Finals was between Bonchan, Sagat, and Louffy, Rose. So I'm going to explain the matchup itself and the general thoughts of the players while they're playing the match round by round. So let's get started. So before I explain anything, let me just show you what's going on. Bonchan is in winners. He's in grand finals. He hasn't lost against a single person in the entire tournament. So this means that Louffy, who has already lost one match during the tournament, which was against Xian, Louffy has to beat Bonchan best of 5 twice. Because he has to beat him, put him in losers, and then they have to play again, and he has to beat him one more time. So right off the bat, Louffy is at a disadvantage because he has to win way more sets than Bonchan does. Let's start with the Ultras now. So Louffy is using Ultra 2 with Rose. Ultra 2 is pretty much the go-to staple Ultra for Rose. But let's back up for a second. Let me explain Ultra 1. Her Ultra 1 is Illusion Spark, and basically it's the Ultra where she throws her scarf forward and it does a lot of damage, 498. And what it's used for in high-end play is mostly to add another tool to her zoning. It stops people from jumping on her because it could be used as an anti-air, and it's a very, very far-reaching anti-air. And it's good against slow characters such as Zangief, and which he used it on, which was Snake Eyes. And it makes it really, really hard to get close to Rose. Like I said, it adds just another tool of zoning for Rose, and it does a lot of damage. But against Sagat, she's going to be playing mostly the Fireball game because Sagat doesn't necessarily have to get in close. He has the high Tiger Shot and the low Tiger Shot. So the second Ultra is called Soul Satellite, and basically it has many, many, many uses. First of all, it's not just a direct attack like many of the Ultras in Street Fighter 4. Okay, just let me skip through the things so I can show you what it looks like right here. So Rose has 2 sparks that surround her and they circle around her, and they're always parallel to each other. And the way it works is if the opponent comes in contact with these orbs, he takes 120 damage straight up. And they'll always be active around her even if she's blocking or moving. And so this basically means she doesn't have to combo into the Ultra. She can just activate it whenever she wants to, which is really unique in Street Fighter 4. On top of that, if she can also block and do all of her special moves. So she can actually combo while it's hitting the opponent and they're circling around her. Or if she's defending, the opponent can get hit by the orbs as well. So it's very, very versatile Ultra. But the main reason you use it is it stops momentum. Basically, it could be used as a wake-up option, and it completely forces the opponent to react to it in some way. Most of the time, it causes them to go into the defensive, because they can't ignore the sparks that are floating around her. Now, when she activates it, the opponent can't just be like, oh, she's activating the orbs, I'm just going to block, and then I don't have to worry about it. These orbs last 10 seconds in the game, 600 frames. And basically, when the orbs circle around her, there'll be a point in time, here, let me show you, where the orbs are on the lower part of Rose and the top part. And at this point, you can go close enough to the opponent, you can actually throw them. So Bonchan can't just simply crouch and block and do nothing and just wait for them to disappear. Otherwise, Rose will throw them, or even worse, if they're in the corner, she can actually focus attack them, and then they can't guard that either. So I think Louffy choosing Ultra 2 in this match is pretty much a no-brainer. She doesn't have to worry too much about zoning on Sagat, but I'll get to that in a second. And Ultra 1 wouldn't really have too much of a use because Bonchan is not going to jump in on her that much anyways. Now, it does have some weaknesses. One of the weaknesses of Rose's Soul Satellite is that a projectile can take out one of the sparks. You can see it right here in this image. Bonchan doing a low Tiger Shot, and it hits one of the sparks and it neutralizes it and it's gone. But one orb will remain. If Rose gets hit anytime she has the sparks around her, for each hit, a spark would disappear. So that's another weakness. And on top of that, if she gets thrown during the time she has a spark, it's really hard for her to get thrown, but if she does get thrown, she'll lose both sparks right away. So then the Ultra becomes basically useless. So that's just one small weakness about it. Now, Bonchan chose Ultra 2 in this situation with Sagat. Now, Ultra 2 in this matchup, and especially in hindsight, I definitely disagree with his choice. He should have definitely chose Ultra 1, which I'll be explaining throughout the entire match. So, I figured he chose Ultra 2 because he wanted to up the zoning, because he knows there's going to be a lot of fireballs and a lot of reflecting, and he wanted an extra tool to use so Rose would be scared to throw projectiles close to him. But the thing is that Bonchan was never able to have an opportunity to do that. And even if he just simply used it as a deterrent to stop Louffy from throwing fireballs up close, it doesn't really matter against Rose, because Rose has a great footsie game anyways, and he could have abused him with safe spirals and slides and whatnot. What he really needed the Ultra 1 for in this situation was the comeback factor. He needed the damage, because Ultra 2 with Sagat only does, well, if it hits him in the air, it only does 255 damage. And if it hits him on the ground, it does 356 damage. It's 356 or 357, one of the two. But his Ultra 1 does 500 flat raw damage. It's insane amount of damage, and it's excellent for comeback factor. So, and Bonchan's not going to gain much meter in this match anyways, because Rose will be reflecting and he'll be mostly defending. And I just strongly feel that Ultra 1 would have been a way better choice for Bonchan. And I'm surprised that during all the matches that he had to adapt, that he didn't switch to it and try it once. So, like I said, I'll be explaining it throughout the matches. Alright, so let's get started with the match. So, right off the bat, Louffy is going to get distance, because right now they're trying to get a feel for each other. And right off the bat, you can tell that Louffy is going to play the zoning game on him. And his objective is to just absorb as many fireballs as he can and get super, because that is one of Rose's strongest abilities during the fight against a zoner like Sagat. And Bonchan, there's a lot of speculation on whether Bonchan was familiar with this match or not. And at the starting, I can say that he definitely isn't, because he's just going to try to bully her with fireballs and just ignore the fact that he gains so much meter. So look at Luffy's meter already. The match has started and he already has 1 bar over him. Okay, the timer's at 92 seconds. So watch it. Look at his super bar right now, and then just watch after 1 tiger shot when he absorbs it. It looks like he almost gains an entire meter from absorbing it once. And he's already getting an advantage from this. So it's not like Louffy is losing health already. So trying to bully Rose with Sagat's fireballs, it's not really a bad decision. It's not really stupid. Sagat's fireballs are faster than Rose. In Ultra Street Fighter 4, Sagat did get nerfed, and there are a little bit more recovery on his fireballs. I think it's like 3 more frames. It's not super huge, but he's still going to overpower Rose if he's at the right distance. And right now, he's not at the right distance. He's too far away. He's giving Louffy too much time to react and too much time to just counter with his own fireballs. What Bonchan's objective is to push him into the corner or close the distance while throwing fireballs, and it makes it a lot harder for Louffy to simply absorb and reflect, because he can't keep up with it. Sagat will slowly overpower her because he can throw more fireballs than she can. Another thing too is that Bonchan can throw low tiger shots and high tiger shots, and he can work around it that way too. So even though she's reflecting it back to him, he can still dodge them and then counter with his own projectile. So he can slowly bully her. And he's hitting her a few times, but the thing is that he's not getting enough advantage. Like, if you look at the life bars, the only thing that's changed now is that Louffy has 2 meters over him. So he's definitely at the advantage here. Now, every now and then, Luffy's going to mix it up, right? He's going to go in close, and he's going to start poking him and getting in free hits. And now he's almost at super meter now. Now, once he gets to super, he sees that he's close to a full super meter now. Now, he doesn't have to play the zoning game anymore, because right now he is super dangerous. Because anytime that he can link into a spiral, he can cancel that right into super, and it's a confirm. So he has enough time that when he hits with the spiral, he has enough time to input the super motion, and Sagat's gonna take an insane amount of damage. So right now, Bonchan is losing, and he's on the defensive, and he has to be scared because any hit is gonna be half his life. See how much Louffy is aggressive now? Just after that small change, now the match has totally changed already. He didn't super here. That could have definitely been an opportunity, but he gets it in a second. So another thing too about these spirals, Soul Spiral is actually negative on block, but if you use it at the right distance, they're actually safe. They're around -3, -4 on block, but if he does it at max range and he's using normal attacks to push him back, then Bonchan can't punish it at all, and he just has to accept it and take the chip damage. And like I said, if he gets hit by one of them, Louffy can confirm that into super. So right now, Bonchan, the only thing he can do is hold his ground. And it's really tough for him to press any normal attacks because if he gets countered once by Rose, it's going to lead into a super. So basically, he's using his projectiles as like a long distance normal attack, which is risky because Louffy can jump in. But like I said, he's at the disadvantage anyways. So Louffy decides, okay, I'm not going to land my super, but I have such a huge life advantage anyways, I might as well go back to the zoning game because that was working out for him anyways. And on top of that, with all this meter, he might as well burn some bar and just start chucking out some EX fireballs at Sagat. He misjudged the range on a Soul Spiral. That was actually punishable. And one thing about the Sagat combo from Bonchan, let me show it again. What's happening here is that this is a huge thing that any Shoto player or Sagat player has to learn to reach high-end play. And what's happening is he does a normal attack into a low tire shot, and you actually have enough time to hit confirm that into an FADC forward, and then get a crouching medium punch into uppercut. This is a hit confirm. It's not Bonchan guessing I'm going to hit him with my crouching light punch. He sees the fireball hit and he has more than enough time to go focus, FADC forward, and hit him. So this is guaranteed damage basically when he punished him. Now, throughout this entire match, Bonchan has been getting a read and getting a feel for the match. And every single time Louffy does a crouching medium punch, he's always canceling it into the spiral because it's free damage, it's free chip. But the problem is that it's not a perfect block string. Sagat does recover in between the block string. He doesn't recover enough so that he can jump backwards, but if he has enough time to do a reversal, and since he's doing a hard read on him, he's going to punch him as hard as he can, which is just basically a raw ultra. Now this is the first point of the match where Ultra 1 could have won him the round. And Sagat here, he's using a full ultra, full damage ultra here. And throughout the match, he hasn't been able to use the Ultra 2 against Luffy's fireballs at close range because Louffy is not going to do it. He's just going to poke him with spirals. So look at Luffy's life here. At this point, Ultra 1 would have killed him. So watch the damage. Remember, Ultra 2 does 357 damage. Look at his life. Ultra 1 does 500 damage raw. I even turned on my Xbox and I redid the entire match, hit for hit, even the counter hits, and just to make sure I'm not crazy. And Ultra 1 would have actually killed Louffy here, and Bonchan would have got the first round on him. Would have been a huge momentum change. But, you know, it is what it is in hindsight. But like I said, this is on the very first round, we're already seeing a result on how it costed him a single round already just by picking the Ultra. And I'm going to show you, it's not just the damage that actually cost him a round. I'll show you in the future during these matches. So Bonchan goes in, he's got no meter to play with, and he's got full super. So right off the bat, Rose does her Ultra. And like I said, this is a momentum change. This is the worst situation Sagat can possibly be in. He's got no health. Luffy has Ultra going and he's got a full super meter, so he's gonna just burn everything to win this round. So Bonchan goes defensive. He's trying to hit him and he successfully hits him, which is really great. Now he did an EX spiral, which is a completely like Hail Mary, but since he has so much meter, he did FADC back to make it safe, and he burned 3 meters right away. Boom. So he hits him with a safe slide. Bonchan was obviously pressing buttons because he got a counter hit, and you know, it is what it is. None of this would have happened if he had Ultra 1. But this was a really good play by Luffy, using all of his meter, get that first round, because he's going to get that meter back anyways. So it was a really good momentum change near the end of the match. Overall, this first round was really good. And another thing about Rose's slide is that if you use it up close, it is also negative on block, but at max range, Rose is actually safe. So here's the second round. Now, once again, Luffy is just going to absorb fireballs, and every now and then he's going to mix it up and try to poke him just so he can just stay unpredictable. So Bonchan is not obviously learning from the first round. Luffy's getting a better feel for the fireball game, and Bonchan is trying his best to mix up the speeds and you know, high and low fireballs, but it's just not working out. Luffy again has almost full meter right away. So everything that Bonchan is doing right now is not working. So now that Luffy has full meter again, close to full meter, you can see now he's starting to get aggressive, and he's going to try to land this super. But Bonchan is the best in the business with Sagat, and his fireball game is amazing. So what happens is that Bonchan's zoning is really good, and Luffy is saying that, you know what, I'm taking too much damage trying to be aggressive. What's the point? I might as well just keep playing the zoning game with him. So what he does is, since he has full super meter, he starts focusing and backdashing the fireballs before he did the ultra, because he has no reason to gain super anymore, right? So might as well gain ultra now. So he's doing a lot of focus and backdashing, and now he has ultra. So his game plan now is that I'm gonna activate the soul satellite so he can get into Bonchan now, which is a really good strategy. So here he activates it, slides again underneath the fireball, and he starts going in. So right here, what he does is that, like I said, once it gets to the part where both players are really close to each other and Bonchan goes into the defensive, Luffy's game plan is to attempt to throw him, because Bonchan really can't do anything about it. He has to tech the throw, basically. And what Luffy does is he tries to trick him here, because he knows that Bonchan knows that he's going to throw him. So he walks just close enough to bait Bonchan to try to throw, and then he does a close standing medium kick. And close standing medium kick is really good for beating throws, because look, Rose is off the ground. Bonchan doesn't fall for it though. But here's the thing, he's got to guess again now. And like I said, every time these orbs are above and below Rose, that's when she can throw you. She can't throw you when the orbs are in front of her, because the orb's going to hit you and going to put you into block stun. You can't throw someone when they're in block stun. So he gets a free throw. Now this is really bad, because now he still has super meter and he's really close to Bonchan, and he gets a free mix up. There it is. So he finally gets a counter hit with a crouching medium punch into the spiral and confirms it to super. Tons of damage. Bonchan does an EX Tiger Knee, and EX Tiger Knee is really good because it gets Sagat out of sticky situations, especially when he's in the corner. And I think he's -1 on block, so it's safe. See, Bonchan now, he's not just throwing fireballs. See, he's kind of dashing forward a little bit on him, because he's trying to get close to her. He doesn't want to just throw fireballs full screen away, or we're going to have another super on your hands. That was a really hard read for Bonchan, but here's the thing. Why did Bonchan do an uppercut? Why didn't he do ultra? Look how much ultra meter he has. I'll show you guys again just so you see it. You know what? Actually, let me put it in slow motion here. So Luffy gets close, and then he's gonna walk up, crouching medium punch. Boom. Hard read by Bonchan. So basically, he does the exact same thing that he did the first round, where he punished with Ultra, but instead he did an uppercut. And I don't know why. Why didn't he just do Ultra? Now, if he did Ultra, it wouldn't have killed her because he doesn't have a full Ultra. If he had Ultra 1, she'd be really close to death. But it just puzzles me. If you haven't noticed, Rose has done her Ultra twice in a single round. And the pressure's on, basically. All the times Bonchan's threw fireballs, Luffy has always mixed in a focus and a backdash to gain more Ultra meter than he otherwise would have. And now he gets a second opportunity. And look how much like Bonchan. He's in a terrible situation right now. And what Luffy does is he does his, what the hell is this move called? Her uppercut move with Rose. I think it's called Soul Throw. I'm just gonna say Soul Throw. And he's not using it to catch him in the air or anything. He's using it to mix him up. So what he's doing is, as Bonchan's getting up, he does it and forces him to have to switch directions because the sparks are surrounding her. Bonchan successfully blocks. Look at that block. Look at this. He successfully blocks it, but the sparks also do chip damage. And boom, EX Spiral. There was nothing Bonchan could do. He was dead. He was donezo. And he took the round. So at this time, you can see Bonchan. Look, first thing he does, he takes off his headphones. He's like, alright, what the hell's going on? Calls up his boys. And you can see Fudo's trying to give him advice. And who knows what the hell he said to him. Probably said something like, you know what, the fireball game's not working. You better start playing aggressive. So we'll see what kind of adjustments Bonchan makes now.